everybody. Good day, good day, good day. Oh, it's nice seeing you guys once more today. Yesterday the network was super bad, and that's why we had to end the last video, the yesterday's video. We're talking about A to Z of getting yourself into flight school, and so I thought we should continue today, finish it up today so that we can go into other things. So guys, if you're new here, this is Princess Anu TV. Hi Sahi, welcome on board. If you're new here, this is Princess Anu TV. We talk about aviation and adventure. I am fine, thank you so much for asking. I'm doing so fine. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, guys. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. It's very important. And like I said, the moment we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to be posting an email link so that you can sign up to the email link so that I can send you some books that you are going to be needing in flight school, some books that you can read, some books that majority of aviation books. Basically, I'm going to be sending you majority of aviation books. So guys, without wasting so much time, I would like us to continue with the A to Z. Hi, Abayami, welcome on board. Nice having you here today. I would like for us to continue with the A to Z of getting into a flight school. And yesterday, if I can remember clearly, we stopped at number 3. That's talking about where will you send the books. I'll send the books, e-copies. Hi, Olumide Godon, welcome. I'll send e-copy of the books to you guys the moment we hit 2,000 subscribers, so you can share the link with your friends, your family members, aviation lovers, majority of aviation lovers, and people that want to get into flight school, people that love aviation generally, so that they can subscribe and we can have the books with us, because I want more people to be able to get access to these books, not just sending now then later sending again and again and again. So that's what we are trying to achieve for now. Thank you so much for asking that question. At least it will help clarify other persons. Hi Shegu, welcome. We are continuing from where we stopped yesterday. I don't want it to be halfway. I don't want to just leave that topic and go into other things and we are not clear. So I'll just start. Let's just go into it. Welcome guys. As more people are joining, don't forget, give this video a thumbs up. It's very important. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. If you've not liked the video, like the video. So guys, the third thing that I'm supposed to be talking about today is, I was telling you about the 3 parts. That's the part of whether you go for the medicals, or you go for the simulator exercise, or you will go for the interview. They usually split these persons, but most of the time the third day you basically do your medicals even before the simulator. And there's a reason why majority of the time they tell you to do your medicals before even going to the simulator, because they don't want to waste their time checking out someone on the simulator when the person is not medically fit. That's why I always say, try as much as possible to keep yourself medically fit. If you're medically fit, when you come for the medicals even in the school, you are not going to be so tense. You're not going to have so much to think about, and that's because you know already to an extent that your body is kind of okay. You're not taking things that is deteriorating your health. You're eating healthy. You're basically working towards being fit. That's what I'm trying to say. So I need you guys to take your health so seriously. In fact, I read an Instagram post yesterday from a captain. I think she's a very known captain, to be precise. She was talking about something. She was talking about the fact that a lot of persons have been chatting her up, saying that they want to do aviation, they want to do flying, but there are a lot of things they don't know about. And she was saying in that post, sorry guys to jump over to this, I think it's important, that's why I'm talking about it. Hi Kerry Roots, welcome. Thanks so much for coming today. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for coming. And she was saying in that post that people don't get to understand that you have a lot of things to do before you get to that point of sitting in the cockpit. That's in a professional setting. That means either in an airline or a corporate venture or flying charter or flying cargo. Before you can get there, you need to be so medically fit. You need to be doing a lot of workouts. You need to be eating healthy. also you're going to spend so much money. So if you know this is a path you want to follow, I will advise that you take care of your health. In fact, your health is supposed to be one of the major things that you're supposed to be concerned about. Like who chatted us some days ago, even in the live stream, telling us that, oh, he has some health challenges. You know, people, you sometimes you don't even know that you have a particular health challenge. Then when you come for the medicals, they tell you that, oh, sorry, your this is not okay, or your that is not okay. So guys, you don't want to fall into that type of trap. You don't want to fall into a situation where you say, no, it's these people. Like another post on Instagram. Somebody said that he came to NCAT for interview, and that he went for medicals. Hi, Madisa, welcome. Nice having you today. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up. He was like, he came for the interview and they tested him and they were like, he's not medically fit. Hi, Edo Timothy, thank you so much for coming in. And he was like, are you sure their medical kits are okay? I'm not even sure their medical kits are okay. I'm not even sure what they are. See, other persons have been using these things. Other persons have been doing medicals with them. Why should it be your own that has an issue? So what I'm trying to say, in essence, giving you all the stories, is that you should try as much as possible to stay medically fit to avoid any issues. So let's continue. If you're medically fit and they brought out the result that everybody is medically fit, or this category of people are medically fit, they send you for an interview, or you either go for a simulator exercise. A simulator exercise, you enter the simulator, and when you enter the simulator, an instructor is going to tell you what to do. Like now, he will take off and he will be on, like, let me say, I think my own time it was about 5,000 feet. Then he will tell you climb to 5,500 in the simulator. So he wants to see if you can take that instruction based on what they've taught you, because they are going to teach you the basic principles of how the aircraft flies. If you add power, this is what will happen. If you reduce power, this is what will happen. They are going to be giving you the privilege to sit in a class and learn that. So they'll also want to see that, can this person actually follow the instruction that has been given to him or her? Because that will have a lot to do with your recommendation. Then they will say, if you're a kind of person that maybe you're doing oversabi, I've talked about it before, oversabi is not necessary. You don't know more than the instructors. Even if you have learned so much online, even if you've been flying simulators online, that's not the time you have to come to them to prove that you know what you're doing. No, that is a time they want to is teachable. They want to see a student that if you're saying something, the student understands. So they want to see a student that can follow instructions, basically. So if you come for an interview or you come for a simulator exercise, pretend, in fact, act it that you can take instructions. Don't come and, because you know already what's going on, you know how the whole thing is done, and you begin to act like you know all, or you know it all. That's going to be a kind of problem for you during the exercise. They may rule you off and say this person is not teachable, or I don't recommend this person, because instructors have the power to actually recommend persons. That's what you don't know. They can write and say, I recommend this person to be picked. That person might not be so good, maybe in the simulator or whatever, but they can just say, I recommend this person, and the person is going to be picked. And you that claimed you know what you were doing, you are doing every and all that, you might not just be selected. Anyways, that will not be your portion in Jesus' name. Amen. It's not be your portion. But I'm just trying to say, when you come for the simulator exercise, try as much as possible to be teachable. Because flying school is not about who is bigger than who or who is older than who. It's about, if I give you an instruction, can you take the instruction that I'm giving to you? If you cannot take the instruction, then why are you coming to flight school? That means you already know it all. So why not go train yourself? That kind of a thing, guys. So I'm just trying to tell you some things and trying to put in some cautions on the way, so that you know what you're doing and you know what you're not doing. Sorry, I just lost my life. Okay, guys. Let's go over to the next thing after the, where did we stop? After the simulator exercise. So you're going to be going for an interview, and the number one tip I have for you concerning the interview is please dress well. I've been saying this in a lot of videos, but people are not taking it so seriously, and that's why I thought that, oh, I should say this again and again. Guys, when you're coming for the simulator exercise, please dress well. Do me a favor. If you're not going to do yourself that favor, do me a favor that I've been talking to you, telling you a lot of things every time. do me the favor by dressing well. You're going to save yourself a lot if you dress well. Let me tell you, in fact, let me give you guys my own story. I don't think I've given it before on this channel, but let me give you guys my own story. My time, I'm not sure I got, in fact, out of the 5 questions I think I was asked, or out of the 6 questions I think I was asked, I think I got only 1.5. But there was something I noticed. They say your confidence level has, I think, 10 marks. I think they say your confidence level has maybe 5 marks. Dressing has 5 marks. Then the way you answer your questions, or your questions have 2 marks each. So your questions comprise of like 10 marks, something like that. That was what, in my time, I don't want to like generalize it. In my time, that was the information I got. That the questions you answer will actually carry like 10 marks, while your dressing is going to carry like 5 marks. Then your confidence level is going to carry like 5 marks. So this is what happened. The moment I entered into the hall, into the room, because it was kind of like a broad room that they were doing the simulator, sorry, not simulator, they were doing the interview. The moment I entered, so true, your first impression is what remains in one's mind. You're very correct. Thank you very much for that, Ruth. You know what? When I entered the hall, or the room, not the hall, I don't know how, I was just confident. I was sincerely like confident. The moment I sat down, okay, no, because I've learned already that in interviews, you don't, if you go to an interview, you don't just go and have your seat. You need to wait for them to tell you to sit down. I learned that from service, like serving in fellowship. So you know, because I made that mistake once, especially if you're familiar with the persons, you know, you just walk into a room and you just sit down, and they ask you a question, who told you to sit down? And you know, you stand up again, they say, who told you to stand up? So I already learned that if you're going to for an interview, or to an interview venue, or to any place for you, you don't just go sit down. You have to actually wait for them to tell you to sit down. Sahi, what simulator exercises can you write in the, okay, can you write in the description box? Okay, I will try to do that, but it's mainly climb and descent. That's mainly what you do. They tell you climb, then you already, because they've taught you in class, you already know what to do. They tell you to descend, you already know what to do. Or they tell you to turn, bank. Most of the time they don't really give banks, but they tell you to climb and to descend. The simple ones, that's what they tell you to. Then they ask you questions like, what's your altitude? Like, you read the altimeter to tell your altitude and all that. It's not something that's so difficult. So it's not so difficult, but you need to be alert. You need to be able to read numbers, like look at numbers and be able to read and be able to tell what's there. So it's not very difficult, but it's something that you need your number 6 to be able to do. And don't get scared. I know a lady that came with me. The moment you start fidgeting, you start getting scared, you are at the point of losing everything. See, if you start shaking and all that, I pity for you, you might not get it. Seriously, just be confident. So guys, let's talk about the interview, and I was giving you my story. Sadus Muhammad, welcome. Nice having you here today. Thank you so much. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I'll be answering your questions as much as possible. Thank you so much for joining in. So guys, as I was saying, I entered the hall and they were like, okay, you can have your seat, and I sat down. It was not like I was not scared. The truth is that when you go for interviews, you kind of be scared, like not like scared, but you're kind of fidgeting. You don't know what to expect. So that was how it was for me. I really didn't know what to expect, but at the same time, I was not really like losing my cool. I was not really losing my chill at that point. So I sat down. Then they asked me what's my name. You need to see the way I was answering. Truth be told, I was so confident. I told them my name is Blessed Barrow. They asked me, okay, I think, did they ask me my state? I can't remember. I think maybe they asked me my state or something. I told them. Then they said they will check your results. Practically at that point, they're going to check your result. They'll tell you, there'll be somebody with the results of everybody. That means I'm talking about O-level results, like maths, all those your O-level stuff I always talk about, like your 5 credits. So they'll be like, okay, can we see her result? And they will not pass your result. Or that was how it happened in my time anyways. They pass the results across. Everybody will look at your result. They want to know the courses you actually did well and the ones you did not really do well. Then they will ask you questions based on that. Like, they will ask you maybe a math question, an English question. Like me, funny enough, do you know they asked me what is a verb? I can remember the instructor that actually asked me what a verb is. I was like, wow, thank you, Jesus. In fact, that was the only question. I think, okay, I answered like 1.5 questions. So I got that question and I got one other question. Those were the only 2 questions I think I got. So it's not, sometimes I'm trying to say that your confidence level is definitely going to give you a mark. The way you dress is definitely going to give you a mark. And if you have these two places covered, it's not that you'll be so dull in your answering of questions, but your question might not really matter because they also want to see a level of confidence. I know one of my instructors also said that, "Hi mommy, welcome on board, nice having you here." So I can remember one of my other instructors that talked about it too, that the moment he talked about himself, like they asked him his name, he talked about his name, they asked him, I think he said maybe they just asked him 1 or 2 questions, and that was how he got he got an admission into the school. So they were just looking for how confident. He said that after the interview process, these people that interviewed him came to tell him that, do you know, it's because of your confidence level we actually took you. So confidence is something that you should not trade. If you're a kind of person that you don't know how to talk in public, or you're shy, or you need to start working on yourself. I'm not saying that you'll be overly confident and scatter things, no, but to an extent, when they ask you questions, you should be composed enough to answer. They're not looking for maybe timid persons and all those kind of things. So basically that's what and I'll give you my own story. So when they asked me, okay, I think the first question they asked me was what's a confluence point? And I was like, a confluence point is, I remembered it because I did geography in school. So when they asked what's a confluence point, I said a confluence point is where 2 rivers meet. And I got that. So they asked me which state in Nigeria actually is a confluence state. I think the answer, then what did I even say? I was like, I remember River Niger, River Benue, you know. I was just thinking in my mind, I said, okay, River Niger, River Benue, maybe that's where they met. And so I was like, Benue, bam, that was how I failed that one. I failed that one. Hi, Climax Whitey, nice having you here. So I basically failed that question, guys. Then Sahi, how to prepare for an emergency situation in flight? No, they are not going to ask you all those ones. All those ones are advanced. You don't know, it's assumed that you don't know anything in flying. So who is going to be asking you when you have an emergency, what do you do? They are not going to be asking you all those kind of questions, except in an interview. The only time I think they can ask you that question is if you have done something in aviation. Maybe you've done, they saw on your documents that maybe you've done flight dispatch, or you've done maybe any course, maybe cabin crew, and you want to join flying. Or actually they cannot ask you a question that they feel you should not know. They will ask you questions based on documents that they are seeing on their table. So if you have basically O-level documents, they're going to ask you O-level document. I know some persons that had their degrees, as in physics or any degree that you did whatsoever, they will ask you something in relation to your degree. I'm telling you. So just depending on the kind of documents you actually show to them, that will determine the kind of questions most of the time that will come from them. And also, if they are trying to rush, they might not pay so much attention to you like that. Like they'll just ask you 1 or 2 questions and you go out and that person comes in and all that. Okay, they're not going to ask you that. Okay, in real life, there are a lot of things they're going to teach you that in flight school, so you don't have to like really bother yourself so much about that. Sahib Mohammed, do you can get admission form just because you're, I don't get that question. Please explain better so that we know where we are treating your question from. So guys, as I was explaining, yeah, please retype your question please. As I was explaining about my own experience, so I failed that question. Then they asked me, because of they saw that in my O-level I got A1 in maths. So one of the instructors there is a grad school instructor. The man is very good in mathematics. He asked me a question: if you have a slope of something x1, x2, okay, you have x1, x2, y1, y2, get the slope. You know, I just remember that in mathematics, there's a way you can really go about this thing. Um, Climax YT question: in Nigeria, after WAEC and JAM, do you have to go to uni or just straight to aviation school? When you're coming in for flying, you don't need your JAM. You don't need JAM. There's no, when you're coming in for flying, to be specific, when you're coming in for flying, you don't need JAM. There are some few courses in NCAT that you actually need JAM to enter, like to do. But for flying, you do not need JAM. Basically, you don't need JAM. So I hope I answered that question. Let me see. So basically, you don't need JAM. And if you want to go to a uni, it depends on you. You can decide to go to a university, or you can decide to come straight to flight school. You don't have to, you don't need your university degree basically to do flying. Sorry guys, I'm trying to check other questions I have here. I'm so happy about this network today. It's like so calm and everything is like going fine. Like, oh Lord, thank you. Okay guys, so you get admission. Rashim Nisia, wow, this is the first time seeing this name. Thank you so much for commenting. If you've not subscribed, do me a favor, click on the subscribe button and like this video, very important. So you can get admission just because of your confidence and dressing. Yeah, yes, I can tell you that. Yes, I'm talking about when you pass the first stage and the second stage. You know, you cannot get to the stage of the interview. You can basically not get to the stage of the interview if you've not passed your first stage and second stage. So the moment you pass the first stage and second stage, you're sure at least that you're going to get an opportunity to get an interview and a simulator. And if you're confident, if you're basically confident about yourself and you dress well, you have a high chance. I'm not saying 100% you're going to get an admission, but you have a very high chance of getting an admission because they are looking at you as somebody that obviously knows what he or she is doing and knows that he's coming for a serious business. Hi, thank you so much, you from Malaysia. Nice having you here. Aww. Thank you. Don't forget to share the link with your aviation friends, lovers of aviation. The moment we get to 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving out books. I have e-copies of books to give to you guys. The books for all the courses basically you're going to be doing in flight school. I have the books and I'm going to be giving that book or those books because it's not 1, it's not 2, it's not 3, it's not 4. I'm going to be giving those books when we hit 2,000 subscribers. So you can share the link with your friends and let more Malaysian people join us here. We are a very, very happy family, I can tell you that. So guys, let's jump back to the A to Z of getting admission into flight school. So if you happen to like do your interview and you're okay with it and they recommend that, okay, we recommend this person, we recommend her, we recommend him and all that, then you will be waiting to get your admission letter. During the process of waiting to get your admission letter, you might likely wait for about 1 month or 1 month and few days. Welcome guys, I can see more persons are joining. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. Thank you so much. So you will be waiting for like 1 month and or less than that, sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes 1 month and some weeks, it depends. I know some people actually that got their admission letter 1 month, but before they resume, it took them like up to like 6 months or so. So it just depends. But like this last set that are currently, the freshest set, I'm going to use the word, the freshest set in flight school, it took them about, because they wrote their exam October, so let's say November, December, November. Oh, did they write their exam October? I don't think so. Was it January they read their exam? But they resumed quite early, that's what I'm trying to say. They resumed February. So it didn't really take them so long for them to resume. So it all depends. They can send you your admission letter 1 month time and you know the next month you guys are resuming. But most of the time they give people time so that they can plan for their school fees. So don't forget, the first thing we talked about in yesterday's video concerning A to Z is about your financial plan. You need to get your financial plan straight. You need to know what you're doing, where you're going to be getting your funds from, how you're going to be managing your funds, what kind of flights what kind of flights will I say, flight school that suits your, what kind of flight school that suits your account. When I mean account, I'm talking about your account balance or the money you have. Some schools are very cheap, but you have to pay like small and pay a lot. Some schools are like a whole sum, you have to pay a whole sum before you start, so it all depends. So for NCAT, I know you might be waiting for like maybe 1 month. So let's say you're going to be waiting for like 1 month for your admission letter. And the moment you get your admission letter, you will be asked to bring some, like you'll be asked in your admission letter, like you're going to come, you'll have to pay a certain amount of money. Most of the time, they have a minimum you have to pay for you to be able to join that class. If you don't pay that minimum, you cannot resume. And guys, this reminds me, I need to tell you guys about something. If you get your admission letter and you have the money, it's advisable you pay immediately, because there's something that aviation does. You cannot have a certain amount of students in a class at a time. You can only have, I think it's an approximate of 20 to 25 people in a class. So the moment the class is up to 20, 25, even if they gave 100 people admission, they can only have at most 25 persons in that class or 20 people in that class. I hope you're getting me. I hope you're following me. I hope you're understanding me. If you are, let me know in the comment sections. I don't like the way everybody's so calm. It's as if I'm doing like a pep talk or something. Let me know that you're understanding me. Anyways, guys, as I was saying, you have to pay immediately in order to secure your space, because I saw a lot of persons that later came, especially in I think the last 2 sets. Some persons resumed and they kind of came late. They came late and they were like, oh sorry, you cannot join this class. And they're like, we have already paid our money. And they said, if you want your money back, we are going to give you your money back. And some collected their money, some had to leave their money and extend, you know, till the next set. So it all depends on you. In the moment you get your admission, it's advisable you secure your space by paying your school fees. Don't say you want to use the money for something, and before you know, you lose your space. I know some persons that kept the money, and let me not say anything. Okay, oh, just if you have the money, pay the money immediately so that you secure your space. And that's it for getting your admission. And so you're going to be asked to resume. They'll tell you come with, nowadays they give flight kits. Basically they give you your flight kit. At least I know for the last set they actually gave them their flight kits. They give them flight bag, they give them headset, they give them flight, I think they give them flight board, they give them a lot of things. Anyways, but it was part of their school fees. It was part of the money they had to pay. But they gave them like majority of the things that are going to be needed in flight line when they go to flight line, and even some things that will be needed in ground school, like your flying ruler, your compass, all the things like you're going to need in majority of the things. Anyways, they gave it to them. So it all depends. After flight school, is it hard to find an aviation school? After flight school, is it hard to find an aviation school in Nigeria? I don't really get that. Flight school is the same thing as aviation school, somehow, because aviation schools, they do flying. Some aviation schools anyways just does flight dispatch and all that. So I didn't really get that question. I would like to get it better. Olumide Gudion, in a video you said it's advisable to get your admission before requesting for sponsorship. How do you tackle looking for scholarship while you get your admission? Sincerely, I will always say that it's advisable to get your admission before you look for sponsorship, because you will have what to show. But that doesn't mean you cannot start telling people prior to that time that you want to go to flight school. You know, if you're already telling people that you want to go to flight school, you want to do flying, they already have it at the consciousness of their mind. So when you get your admission, it's easy. Ikechuku Onoha, welcome. Nice having you here. First time I'm seeing this name. Don't forget, subscribe and like this video. Very, very important, guy. Very, very vital. Thank you so much. Okay, I was explaining something before I got distracted. Okay, I was trying to explain that it's better you get your admission before whether you get your admission before you apply for sponsorship or scholarship, so that they know that this person is serious, and the school can also like help you write a letter. Do you get me? The school can write a letter for you saying, we recommend you to sponsor this person, we recommend you to sponsor that person. So it's also a good chance that you can take. But you can be telling people, like we talked about, the motivational speech we talked about day before yesterday was the fact that a closed mouth is a closed destiny, or a closed mouth will not receive anything. You need to keep telling people that you want to go to flight school, you have this plan, you have this mission, you have this vision, you know, of doing something in flying, so that when the admission comes out, they know that, okay, she has been talking about it before, or he has been talking about it before, so we can do something about it. But if nobody knows that that's your plan or that's your aspiration, everybody, even when you get the admission, they are like, okay, so what do you want us to do about this now? So I'm still going to leave that advice, I'm still going to stick on it, telling you that it's best that you actually get your admission first before applying. But that doesn't mean you cannot start telling people, maybe vocally or whatever means, that you actually want to go to flight school. So Gideon, I hope you got that clear from me. Rima Nisha, how to get flight schools overseas. Okay, we are going to be doing a video on some flight schools basically in Africa. I'm going to do a compilation. I'll compile flight schools we have in Africa. Oh, that's going to be a lot of work, but I'll do that. I'll try and do that. Some flight schools, not all African countries. There are some African countries that have a lot of flight schools. Like countries like South Africa, they have a lot. Like, I mean, so much. In fact, flying in Africa, like getting a Cessna, I don't think even buying an aircraft on your own is not going to be hard in a place like South Africa, because it's like you just click your hand and you get an aircraft, you get a Cessna 172, you just start flying. It's very, very easy. So, but there are some other African countries that do not have flight schools. Like Ghana doesn't have a flight school. I don't think Sierra Leone has a flight school. I don't think Chad, all these other neighboring countries around Nigeria, I don't think they have flight schools. There are a lot of other African countries that do not have flight schools, but there are some that have more and more flight schools. So we are going to be doing. Oh, Ikechukwu said Ghana does. Okay, what's the name of the flight school in Ghana? Because the last time I checked, there's no functional flight school in Ghana. So I'm sorry for that. You can tell us, you can share with us actually the name of the flight school Ghana has, so that we can like check it out and know if they are still like functioning and recommend persons to, you know, go there. So we are waiting for that. But before then, Shegun, can you predict when the admission exam for this year is likely to hold? Sincerely, due to the lockdown and everything, I would have been able to predict before. But I think now you can't really predict anything at this point, because, okay, I said it before, people are already having online classes. They are having online classes, so that means the school also wants the academic section to go just the way it has been going. But now you cannot really foretell. You cannot tell how it's going to happen. That's the truth. You can't tell how it's going to happen. So for now, sincerely, I don't really know what to say. I really don't know what to say about that. Okay, sorry, I meant aviation work. Autocorrect messed up my comments. Okay, that means after aviation school, is it possible to, after flight school, is it possible to get an aviation job? By God's grace and by the mercy of God, why not? You finish something, you're good at it, you apply, God favors you, you know persons, they call you for an interview, you do great. I think it's not really going to be hard for you to get a job, or that's my thinking anyways. So, by the time I go to the job market, I will be able to tell you better. But I'm always trusting God for favor, so I'm not looking at the fact that it's going to be hard or it's going to be difficult or it's going to be this or that. I'm trusting God that everything will go smoothly. So I don't think it's going to be hard to get a job by God's grace. Shegun, can one defer his or her admission once one receives the admission letter? Yes, you can do that. I've seen persons that actually defer their admission, but the only way you can defer your admission is with a commitment of payment, based on what I've seen. So until you pay a certain amount of money, you cannot defer your admission. I don't know if you get me. You have to pay a certain amount of money to the school. When you pay that money, it's seen as you are securing your admission. So if you don't pay that money, you are not securing your admission. It just seems like that admission has disappeared. You have to write the exams again and go over the whole process again and again. And you know, the thing is that NCAT is cheap, is one of the cheapest schools in the world. And not only that, you don't really have they have a standard to a certain level, and because of the standard they have to a certain level, the influx of people that come for the exams, there are always many. So once you get that opportunity to get that admission, it's best to hold it and to hold it strong, because you don't get that opportunity every single day. Like you don't just wake up in the morning and decide to go to an aviation school like NCAT and you get that opportunity. So it's something that if you get, hold it really tight, guys. Hold it tight. Ikechukwu Onoha, Mish Aviation Flying School, Accra. Oh, I'm going to check that out. Just let me, do some like documentation. I'm going to check that out. But the last time I actually checked, there was no flight school in Accra, Ghana. But I'm going to write that down and get back to you guys tomorrow. Mish Aviation School. Okay. I'm going to get back to you tomorrow concerning that. So, okay, there was also something we were supposed to talk about yesterday. I wrote it down, but I really don't know. I really don't know where I kept that, but I know that I kind of put something down for you guys. Okay, somebody talked about staying motivated and concentrating on studies, how to be more motivated and concentrating on studies, that's flight school studies. And guys, be aware that a lot of persons are still having flight school classes. That's the funny thing. A lot of persons are having flight school classes now, despite the pandemic and all that. People are still having online classes and people are still learning. So if you ask me in this period how to stay motivated and concentrate on your studies, the number one thing I'm going to say is that remember why you started. Remember why you started the flying thing. That's the first thing. If you remember why you started, you're not going to joke with your money. You're not going to joke with resources that people are spending on you. That's the first thing. Can you pay for your training in bits? If yes, what's the breakdown? Yes, you can pay for your training in bits. It depends on your agreement with the flight school. You can actually pay for your training in bits, but you must pay that compulsory chunk of money that they ask you to pay. So if they say you have to pay maybe 4 million or 5 million or 6 million, whatever the millions may be, if they say you must pay that, then you have to pay that. The other ones, you can discuss with the school, have an agreement with them and say, okay, sir, or please write to the rector or write to the bursary department or write to the financial department of your school and say, I'm going to be paying the remaining at so and so time. So it just depends. You can actually pay in bits. There's no specific breakdown for anybody. So far you've paid the actual chunk they asked you to pay. Others can be paid in bits later on. How to be more concentrating on your studies. 5 persons. I talked about friends you're supposed to have in flight school. If you've not watched the video, do yourself a favor and do me a favor, help yourself. Watch the video. Get friends around you that are motivated, that also have the same passion with you concerning flying. They will also help energize you. They will also help boost up that low vibe you have at that time in your training, because like I said, every day is not like hyper. Some days you have low times, some days you have down times. So you need persons that can actually encourage you. You need persons that can actually tell you that you can do it, you're the best. Okay, I think you should rest a little, pick up yourself, let's go again. You can actually do it. So that's my 2 basic tips I'm going to be giving, because I promised to talk about this yesterday, but due to the network, we did not have the chance to talk about it. I can see more persons are joining. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Do me that favor, subscribe so that we can hit 2,000 subscribers and we can share the aviation books to all the people we have on board this channel. Very, very important. Ikechukwu, people can also try and learn flight simulators. We should talk about that someday. Okay, we can talk about that probably next week, because it seems like I have a plan for you guys. We're going to be doing like a quiz. How much do you know about aviation? I think from tomorrow we're going to do that quiz till like Saturday. We are going to ask aviation questions, aircraft questions, license questions. I'm just going to be asking. It's going to be like a quiz. I ask you guys, you answered, and I think at the end of the day, the person that answered the most, we might do a giveaway. We might, I'm not sure. I'm just saying. But from now, from I think tomorrow till like Saturday, we're going to be doing a quiz, aviation quiz, things you should know about aviation. I'm going to be asking you guys the question, and you are going to be answering me if you know that. I'm going to be jotting down the most efficient people, and I'll tag you guys. I'm going to send an email if possible, or put your names on my community chats, because it's like celebrating people that know so much, aviators that know so much about aircrafts, flying, and all that. So I can't wait to know the best people that know so much about aviation on this channel. Not just about us, discussing. It's going to be a quiz time. 1 minute or 40 seconds or 30 seconds for each question if you know it. If you don't know it, I'm going to be telling you guys the answer. So I'm going to have a list of that. And trust me, it's going to be like a so enjoyable time with you guys. Don't forget, live stream starts every day by 5 p.m. 5 p.m. till as the Lord leads us. That's what I'm going to say. 5 p.m. to whenever we end. But the quiz is going to be 20 questions every day. Wow, brilliant Nigerians. I'm looking forward to winning a Lamborghini. Don't worry, we will not only buy a Lamborghini, we'll buy much more than that. And we'll sell them out, to sponsor more people for flight school if possible. Like, I so desire it. Anyways, we'll get there. Let's not talk too much about that. So guys, that's what's going to be happening tomorrow. We're going to be ending this live stream now. My motivational note for you guys is, I don't really have much motivation for you guys. I just want to say I care about you guys, and I hope that we'll all move forward to a point whereby we'll see ourselves in the airlines, we'll see ourselves like in flight schools. We can do like a visit, come around, hang around with you guys and say, oh, I remember when we were always talking, and travel together, share memories together. The main thing is, if we all work towards getting to our goals, reaching to our goals, there will be this joy and happiness when everybody has moved forward, when everybody has become something in life. So whatever knowledge you have, don't forget to share it with the next person. Don't hoard any knowledge. The truth is that any knowledge you don't even share, you don't even know whether that thing is totally correct. Just like I was saying now, that I don't know if there's any flight school in Ghana, and someone just told us that there's a flight school, Mitch Aviation, in Ghana. You can see that knowledge is something that if we interact with ourselves, we get better, we get to know. So if you heard what you know, you're not even sure if what you know is actually correct. So what I'm going to be saying now, let's encourage ourselves as much as possible. Let's put things together. Let's, say the nice words, say the best things to ourselves, especially during this time that everybody's at home thinking about, oh God, how is this whole pandemic going to end and all that. Share hope, share love, be happy, and guys, be fine. I'm going to be seeing you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Don't forget, it's going to be a question and answer session. Do not miss it. Please, don't miss it. It's going to be 20 questions every day. By God's grace, we're going to be having like 20 questions every single day till Saturday. So as much as we can answer, as much as we can know about, we are going to be talking about that. So the quiz is going to be on aviation generally. Yeah, and there's no expo. No expo is going to be needed. So we are not going to be doing things like you have to go online, you have to go and browse it. You have to know it then and then. Yeah, so it's going to be on aviation. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything and anybody. Madisa, thank you so much. Okay. Don't forget the motivational quotes. With this content, I'm sure we are getting to 2,000 subscribers. Yes, we are getting to 2,000 1,000 subscribers soon. So guys, I'll see you people in tomorrow's video. Don't forget, keep doing your best and be fine. Bye guys, love you so much.